You see that? That's called a rake. Most people don't have a collection of rakes. Chris has a garden rake hanging on the wall and a leaf rake. And there is Chris's weed whacker. So the rake Chris used and broke at 3319 was probably standard Anadarko truck equipment. So when Chris said, we had a rake, Chris is talking about each employee's truck had a shovel and a rake.
Did you have a shovel?
Yeah, we have a shovel, a rake, and a wheat whacker as part of our tools.
With that rake, if I remember right, it was
part of it sitting there because it was broken.
Oh, did it break as you were digging or something?
Not when I was without like smoothing the ground over.
On this day, it broke when you were doing that? Okay. Was that after you were all done? And it seemed as though maybe the first people that got there saw it. Was it stuck in the ground?
I guess it was like, not like standing up, but it was like laying down.
Oh, okay.
Troy said that when he arrived at 319, Chris had already dug up the pipe that was leaking. Do you really think Anadarko makes employees dig holes with their bare hands? No, they provide the tools, which would include a shovel and probably a rake.
Was Chris scheduled to go to 319 that morning?
He told me on Friday, whenever we spoke with Cody, because he was right there, because I took the call on Bluetooth because I was parked in the parking lot.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever he found out about the leak, he said, I'll go out and look at that thing first thing Monday morning.
And then when you got to the site, I think you said he had a shovel and he was already digging.
Well, no, the shovel was already, whenever I got to the 319, they'd already dug it up.
Okay.
His shovel was standing right next to the freaking catwalk. So whenever I walked up, his shovel was right up here.
Okay.
And the hole had already been dug.
How big
Right
of a
there.
hole?
That big around.
How deep?
8 inches.
Okay.
Maybe 8, 9 inches. Because I don't think the lines are very deep underneath that berm. And then before they elbow and then come up, right there by the tanks.
Mm-hmm.
So you could see a little puddle right there of oil about that big around, and that's it.
Okay. Did Chad or Melissa have shovels out too?
No, not that I know of, because I think Chris had already done that. Because
Okay.
that was the only shovel that I seen that was out of the pickup on location.
Okay. Did Melissa or Chad have any other tools out?
No, everybody just carries their crescent wrench.
Okay.
So that's our thing. As soon as we get out of the truck as operators, 90% of our job will focus on a 12-inch crescent wrench.
Okay.
So I always carry that in my back pocket even when I hop out, because we use them to change or turn the wing valves on the wellhead, the inlet valves, the separator, the dump valves, everything. We use the 12-inch for everything. But we have locked and tagged there. It's the first line as you're walking to the stairs. Right over on your right-hand side is that first line, because that's where the staining was, and it's at the elbow underneath the ground is where I think the threads washed out.
Okay.
So there was oil bubbling up from there, and that's what caused the stain.
Okay, gotcha.
Me, it would
Where
make
is
more
that
sense.
bypass line?
Okay, the bypass line is coming off your separator, or I thought that, if I'm not mistaken, sir, I think the bypass line and the back pressure line are tied in, one and the same.
Okay.
And the back pressure line comes off from the front of the doghouse on the separator. And then the back pressure line is back here by the flow line, where it comes in at the header of the separator, where the gas and the oil enter the separator.
Okay.
And those lines run directly underneath and then come right back over here to the edge of the tank, where both of those lines come up and on top of the tank.
And that leak was in here, correct?
Yes, sir. It
Okay.
was right there by the stairs, right as you go up
Okay.
the catwalk.
So there you have it, party people. The fake crime channels are wrong again. When Chris used the word we, it did not mean he had helped burying Shannon. He meant each employee had a rake, a shovel, and weed whacker in their employee truck. However, being wrong is nothing new, as they're always wrong, and they always use total bullshit stories for one reason: to rake in the dough. But the following story sure is new, so let me tell you about it. Troy said Chris left Serby 10:29 between 11 a.m. and noon time. Troy said Chris was getting calls from Atkinson before he left, and Atkinson told Chris that Shannon missed her doctor's appointment.
So you guys leave, go to the 1029.
Yes, sir.
And you guys stay there for the rest of the day?
I was there for almost the rest of the day. I didn't leave until around 2 o'clock.
Okay. What about Chris?
Chris, I'm thinking it's about 11 o'clock to noon is whenever, because he kept getting phone calls from a lady that was at the house, ringing the doorbell and everything like that, and couldn't get a hold of Shanann. Because she tried to call her, I guess, several times that morning and said that she'd missed the doctor's appointment or whatever that she had.
Okay.
So he was worried. He told me that he was getting worried about it because nobody could reach her. So about 11 o'clock or so, he told us he was going home.
Shannon's doctor's appointment was at 9:15 a.m. Atkinson only went to Shannon's doctor's office at 12:47 p.m. Chris admits he left 10:29 to go home at 12:10 p.m.
Okay. And then where?
The 1029. We were there most of the rest of the day.
Doing what?
We're trying to get a pumping unit to pump back up, and stuffing box rubbers were leaking and the rods were smoking, so we had to replace them. That's what took a very long time.
And how long were you out there?
The rest until 12:10.
So how did Atkinson tell Chris, before noon time, that Shannon missed her doctor's appointment when Atkinson never went to Shannon's doctor's office until 12:47 p.m.? Atkinson's a fucking liar. As for me, well, I'm still the only king of this case. Now watch this, and tell all of your friends, not just some of them, about my channel. And I'll see you in my next Worldwide Award-winning video.